Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're exposing 20 actors currently in jail and the shocking reasons behind their downfall. Let's dive into the dark side of Hollywood. Bill Cosby was once a beloved figure in American television history, known for his role as Dr. Cliff Huxtable on The Cosby Show. For years, Cosby cultivated an image of a wholesome, paternal figure both on and off screen. However, allegations of sexual misconduct began to surface in the early 2000s. Multiple women accused Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting them, often during meetings that were supposed to help their careers. Cosby's accusers spanned decades, with some claims dating back to the 1960s. For a long time, these allegations did not lead to formal charges, in part because the statute of limitations had expired for many cases. However, after a renewed wave of allegations, in part inspired by the Me Too movement and the courageous voices of survivors, prosecutors reopened a case involving Andrea Constand. In 2018, Cosby was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting Constand in 2004. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Cosby's conviction was seen as a watershed moment for survivors of sexual assault, representing a moment where power and influence did not shield someone from accountability. However, in 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned Cosby's conviction, citing a technicality related to a previous agreement Cosby had made with a prosecutor. This led to his release from prison, reigniting debate over legal technicalities versus justice for survivors. Cosby's fall from grace also marked a significant turning point for Hollywood, particularly for the Black community. Cosby had long been a trailblazer, breaking barriers for African Americans in entertainment, but his legacy has been indelibly tarnished by the sexual assault allegations. His case opened up broader conversations about celebrity power, consent, and the difficulties survivors face when coming forward against influential figures. Danny Masterson was widely known for his role as Stephen Hyde on the popular television show That 70s Show. Throughout the 2000s, Masterson had a steady career in television, even as rumors swirled about his behavior off camera. In 2020, multiple women came forward, accusing him of raping them in the early 2000s. These accusations ultimately led to his arrest and trial. Masterson's trial drew particular attention because of his ties to the Church of Scientology. His accusers claimed that the church had attempted to silence them and Scientology's practices, and influence over its members became a point of scrutiny during the legal proceedings. The church has denied these allegations, but the intersection of religion, power, and abuse was heavily discussed during the trial. In 2023, Masterson was convicted of 2 counts of rape and sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. His conviction is a stark example of how the entertainment industry is beginning to grapple with allegations of sexual abuse and misconduct, and it highlighted the changing landscape of accountability in the post-Me Too era. Masterson's case also underscored the importance of survivors' stories being heard, even after years of silence, as the legal system is becoming more responsive to these delayed allegations. The entertainment world saw many actors and actresses distance themselves from Masterson after his conviction, and his career has effectively been over since the allegations came to light. His case is also emblematic of the broader issue of abuse of power within religious and social institutions, with many calling for reforms to ensure that organizations like Scientology cannot shield alleged abusers from facing justice. Felicity Huffman, an actress known for her role in Desperate Housewives, became one of the most high-profile names involved in the 2019 college admissions bribery scandal. Dubbed Operation Varsity Blues, the scandal exposed a widespread conspiracy where wealthy parents paid bribes to get their children admitted into elite universities under false pretenses. Huffman admitted to paying $15,000 to have her daughter's SAT scores doctored, which resulted in her arrest alongside other well-known figures like Laughlin. Huffman cooperated with the investigation and publicly apologized for her actions, expressing regret for what she described as a lapse in judgment as a parent. In the ensuing legal proceedings, she was sentenced to 14 days in prison, though she served 11. While her prison time was brief, the case had a lasting impact on her reputation and career. The college admissions scandal ignited a national conversation about privilege, access to education, and the lengths to which wealthy individuals go to secure opportunities for their children. Huffman's involvement in the scandal highlighted how even those with fame and resources are not immune to the legal system, though critics argued that the brief sentences given to Huffman and other celebrities involved reflected a two-tiered system of justice. Since completing her sentence, Huffman has returned to acting, and while some of the backlash has subsided, the scandal remains a significant blemish on her career. The case has led to broader reforms in university admissions processes and increased scrutiny on the role of wealth in higher education access. Harvey Weinstein, once one of Hollywood's most powerful producers, became a central figure in the Me Too movement after decades of sexual misconduct allegations came to light. As the co-founder of Miramax and the Weinstein Company, he produced numerous critically acclaimed films and helped launch the careers of many high-profile actors and filmmakers. Behind the scenes, however, Weinstein was accused of using his position to sexually harass, assault, and intimidate women, often in exchange for career advancement. The accusations against Weinstein became public in 2017 after investigative journalists from The New York Times and The New Yorker exposed a pattern of abuse spanning decades. Numerous actresses, including Ashley Judd, Rose McGowan, and Gwyneth Paltrow, came forward to share their experiences of harassment and assault by Weinstein. The revelations led to a seismic shift in Hollywood, sparking the Me Too and Time's Up movements, which encouraged women to speak out against sexual harassment and abuse in the workplace. In 2020, Weinstein was convicted of rape and sexual assault and sentenced to 23 years in prison. The trial was hailed as a landmark moment in the fight against sexual abuse, as Weinstein's conviction showed that even the most powerful figures could be held accountable for their actions. His downfall had ripple effects throughout the entertainment industry, as more individuals began to face consequences for their misconduct. Weinstein's case has permanently altered the culture in Hollywood, with greater emphasis on consent, workplace behavior, and accountability. The Me Too movement, which gained momentum in the wake of his conviction, has also led to significant changes in industries beyond entertainment, helping to expose and address systemic issues of abuse and power. Joe Exotic, born Joseph Maldonado Passage, gained international notoriety through the 2020 Netflix documentary series Tiger King. The series captivated audiences with its portrayal of the wild world of big cat breeding, a controversial industry in the United States. Joe Exotic, the flamboyant owner of a private zoo in Oklahoma, became a central figure due to his eccentric personality and ongoing feud with Carol Baskin, the owner of Big Cat Rescue in Florida. Joe Exotic's downfall came when he was arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including animal abuse and a murder for hire plot against Baskin. Prosecutors alleged that he had hired 2 individuals to kill Baskin, although they never followed through with the plan. In 2019, he was convicted on these charges and sentenced to 22 years in federal prison. The Tiger King series not only brought attention to Joe Exotic but also to the broader issue of the treatment of exotic animals in captivity. His conviction also shed light on the toxic dynamics in the world of private zoos, where disputes over animals, finances, and personal vendettas can quickly escalate to violence. Exotic maintains his innocence, arguing that he was framed, and has filed multiple appeals. His case has been a source of public fascination, as it blends elements of true crime, reality television, and bizarre cultural phenomenon. Joe Exotic has continued to communicate with the public from prison, and his celebrity status has only grown since his incarceration, his ongoing appeals and attempts to receive a pardon from then-President Donald Trump further fueled the media circus surrounding his case. The cultural impact of Tiger King is undeniable, as it brought conversations about animal rights and the ethical implications of big cat breeding into mainstream discourse. Lori Laughlin, best known for her role as Aunt Becky on Full House, was also implicated in the 2019 college admissions scandal. Unlike Felicity Huffman, Laughlin initially fought the charges, which included paying $500,000 in bribes to get her two daughters into the University of Southern California as fake rowing recruits. After months of legal wrangling and public scrutiny, Laughlin eventually pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 2 months in federal prison. Laughlin's case received significant media attention, not only because of her fame but also because of the perceived arrogance in initially fighting the charges. Many commentators pointed out how her actions reflected a sense of entitlement and privilege, particularly in the context of the broader issues of inequality in access to education. Since completing her sentence in 2020, Laughlin has faced significant challenges in rebuilding her career. Her daughters, particularly Olivia Jade, who was a prominent social media influencer, also faced backlash. The college admissions scandal has had long-lasting consequences for Laughlin, both professionally and personally. The broader societal impact of the scandal cannot be understated. It exposed the inequities within the American educational system and led to a renewed focus on how wealth and privilege can manipulate supposedly meritocratic processes. The case also fueled debates about how celebrities and the wealthy are treated in the legal system compared to ordinary citizens. Mark Salling became a household name for his role as Noah Puck Puckerman on the hit television series Glee. However, in 2015, his career and life unraveled when he was arrested for possessing child pornography. Investigators found thousands of explicit images and videos on his computer, leading to his indictment. Salling initially denied the charges but later reached a plea deal in 2017. The case was highly publicized due to Salling's fame and the shock that someone from such a beloved show could be involved in such heinous crimes. As his legal case progressed, Salling faced immense public backlash and personal struggles. Before he could be sentenced, Salling died by suicide in January 2018, further shocking fans and the entertainment industry. Salling's case is a tragic example of how individuals with fame and success can still have deeply troubling private lives. His death also sparked conversations around mental health, particularly for those involved in high-profile criminal cases. The Glee cast and fandom, already dealing with previous tragedies such as the overdose death of fellow cast member Cory Monteith, were once again thrust into the spotlight as they grappled with the dark reality behind one of their own criminal actions. The entertainment industry, still reeling from the wave of sexual abuse revelations in the Me Too era, faced further calls for more rigorous checks on the behavior of actors and industry figures. Salling's case serves as a reminder that fame often masks deep personal issues, and that justice for victims of exploitation should remain paramount. Oscar Pistorius, a South African sprinter who was born with a congenital disability that required the amputation of both legs below the knee, became an international sensation for his achievements in sports. Nicknamed the Blade Runner due to his use of carbon fiber prosthetics, Pistorius made history by competing in both the Paralympic and Olympic Games. He was widely admired as a symbol of triumph over adversity, representing perseverance, determination, and athletic excellence. However, Pistorius' world came crashing down on February 14, 2013, when he shot and killed his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, in what he claimed was a tragic accident. Pistorius said he mistook Steenkamp for an intruder, but the prosecution argued that it was premeditated murder, pointing to Pistorius' history of volatile behavior. After a long and highly publicized trial, Pistorius was initially found guilty of culpable homicide similar to manslaughter and sentenced to 5 years in prison. However, following an appeal, his conviction was upgraded to murder and his sentence was increased to 13 years. The Pistorius case captivated international audiences and raised many questions about domestic violence, gun control, and the criminal justice system in South Africa. Steenkamp's family has been vocal in their pursuit of justice, while Pistorius remains a controversial figure. His case has also been used as an example of how celebrity status can affect both legal proceedings and media coverage. O.J. Simpson's fall from grace is one of the most infamous cases in American legal history. Simpson, a former NFL star and actor, became the subject of one of the most publicized trials of the 20th century when he was accused of the 1994 murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. The ensuing trial, often referred to as the trial of the century, captivated the nation and exposed deep racial and social divisions in the United States. In 1995, Simpson was acquitted of the murders, a verdict that sparked widespread controversy and debate. Despite his acquittal in the criminal trial, Simpson was found liable for the deaths in a civil trial in 1997, and the victims' families were awarded a significant financial settlement. Simpson's legal troubles did not end with the murder trial. In 2008, he was convicted of armed robbery and kidnapping in connection with an incident in a Las Vegas hotel, where Simpson and a group of men attempted to retrieve sports memorabilia that Simpson claimed was stolen from him. He was sentenced to 33 years in prison but was granted parole in 2017 after serving 9 years. O.J. Simpson remains a polarizing figure in American culture, with many still debating his innocence or guilt in the murder case. His story has been the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and television series, and it continues to be a touchstone for discussions about race, celebrity, and the justice system in the United States. Robert Downey Jr. is one of Hollywood's most remarkable comeback stories. In the 1990s, Downey was known as a talented but troubled actor who struggled with severe drug addiction. Despite critical acclaim for his performances in films like Chaplin, for which he received an Academy Award nomination, Downey's personal life was plagued by legal troubles. He was arrested multiple times for drug possession, and in 1999 he was sentenced to a year in jail after violating probation. Downey's public battles with addiction, which included stints in rehab and multiple relapses, made headlines and seemed to jeopardize his career. However, after hitting rock bottom and spending time in jail, Downey began to turn his life around. He gradually rebuilt his reputation, and in 2008, he landed the role of Tony Stark/Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU, a part that would redefine his career. The success of Iron Man and subsequent MCU films catapulted Downey back to the top of Hollywood's A-list. He became one of the highest-paid actors in the world, earning widespread praise for his performances and his ability to overcome his troubled past. Downey's redemption story is often cited as an example of resilience and recovery, showing that it is possible to come back from even the darkest moments. Downey has since been open about his journey to sobriety, crediting his wife, family, and meditation practices with helping him stay clean. His story serves as an inspiration to many, particularly those struggling with addiction, proving that personal and professional recovery is possible with determination and support. Jared Fogle became a household name in the early 2000s as the spokesperson for Subway, after claiming to have lost a significant amount of weight by eating Subway sandwiches. His transformation and subsequent fame made him a symbol of health and fitness. However, in 2015, Fogle's life and career unraveled when he was arrested on charges of child pornography and engaging in illicit sexual activities with minors. Fogle pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison. His arrest shocked the public, as he had been seen as a positive figure promoting healthy living. Subway, quickly cut ties with Fogle, and the case raised questions about how well-known figures can exploit their celebrity status to engage in criminal behavior. Fogle's case also sparked discussions about the responsibilities of corporations in vetting their spokespeople and the importance of recognizing warning signs of predatory behavior. His fall from grace was swift and complete, and he remains incarcerated, serving his sentence. Lane Garrison, an actor best known for his role as David Tweener on Prison Break, saw his rising career take a tragic turn in 2006. Garrison was involved in a drunk driving accident that resulted in the death of a 17-year-old passenger and injuries to 2 other teenagers. He was charged with vehicular manslaughter and driving under the influence, and in 2007, he was sentenced to 40 months in prison. Garrison's case garnered significant media attention due to his celebrity status and the tragic circumstances of the accident. He expressed deep remorse for his actions and cooperated fully with authorities. After serving 20 months of his sentence, Garrison was released on parole and has since spoken publicly about the guilt he carries for the accident. Since his release, Garrison has worked to rebuild his career, appearing in various television shows and films. He has also dedicated time to speaking about the dangers of drunk driving and the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions. His case serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of reckless behavior and the impact that celebrity influence can have on young fans and audiences. Phil Spector, one of the most influential music producers of the 20th century, was known for creating the wall of sound, a production technique that revolutionized the music industry. Spector worked with some of the biggest names in music, including the Beatles, Tina Turner, and the Ronettes. However, his career was overshadowed by his erratic behavior and troubling personal life. In 2003, Spector was arrested for the murder of actress Lana Clarkson, who was found dead in his mansion. Spector maintained that Clarkson's death was an accident, but prosecutors argued that he had a history of violence against women and that he had shot Clarkson during an argument. After a lengthy trial, Spector was convicted of second-degree murder in 2009 and sentenced to 19 years to life in prison. Spector's case marked the dramatic fall of a music legend, and it served as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and fame. His conviction was seen as a victory for justice, particularly for victims of domestic violence. Spector died in prison in 2021, leaving behind a complicated legacy as both a musical genius and a convicted murderer. Rapper C. Murder, born Cory Miller, is the brother of music mogul Master P and was a prominent figure in the New Orleans hip-hop scene in the late 1990s and early 2000s. His career came to a halt in 2009 when he was convicted of second-degree murder for the 2002 shooting of a 16-year-old fan, Steve Thomas, during a brawl at a nightclub. Miller was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Miller has maintained his innocence throughout his incarceration, and his case has been the subject of ongoing legal battles. His family, including Master P and reality TV star Kim Kardashian, have advocated for his release, citing issues with the original trial, including claims of witness coercion and insufficient evidence. Miller's case highlights the often complex intersection of race, the legal system, and celebrity. Many of his supporters argue that he was unfairly targeted because of his fame and that systemic biases played a role in his conviction. Despite multiple appeals, Miller remains in prison, and his case continues to draw attention from both the legal community and the public. Charlie Sheen has long been one of Hollywood's most controversial figures, known for his erratic behavior, substance abuse issues, and public scandals. Sheen, who gained fame for his roles in films like Platoon and Wall Street, became a household name in the 2000s for his role as Charlie Harper on the hit sitcom 2.5 Men. However, his personal life began to unravel as he faced allegations of domestic violence, drug abuse, and wild public outbursts. In 2011, Sheen's highly publicized meltdown led to his firing from 2.5 Men, and his subsequent tiger blood and winning rants became infamous. Despite these issues, Sheen has managed to avoid significant time in prison, largely due to the settlements and legal maneuvers that have kept his more serious charges from leading to incarceration. In 2015, Sheen revealed that he was HIV positive, which added another layer of controversy to his already tumultuous life. While Sheen's career has largely faltered since his public breakdown, he remains a polarizing figure, with some fans appreciating his candidness and others viewing him as a cautionary tale of excess and self-destruction. Michael Jace was best known for his role as Officer Julian Lowe on the critically acclaimed television series The Shield. However, in 2014, Jace's life took a tragic turn when he was arrested and charged with the murder of his wife, April Jace. During a domestic dispute, Jace shot his wife multiple times in front of their 2 young children. The motive behind the killing appeared to be related to marital and financial problems. Jace was convicted of second-degree murder in 2016 and sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. The case shocked fans of The Shield and the broader entertainment community, as Jace had long portrayed himself as a family man. The brutal nature of the crime and the fact that it occurred in front of the couple's children made the case even more heartbreaking. Jace's conviction and subsequent incarceration reflect the tragic intersection of domestic violence and fame. While his career had been steady for many years, the events leading up to the murder showed how personal struggles, particularly financial difficulties, can have devastating consequences. Ron Jeremy, a legendary figure in the adult film industry, was arrested in 2020 on multiple charges of rape and sexual assault. Over a dozen women came forward with allegations against Jeremy, with some accusations dating back decades. As one of the most recognizable faces in the adult entertainment industry, Jeremy's arrest sent shockwaves through the industry. Jeremy's case has raised important questions about consent, power dynamics, and the treatment of women in the adult film industry. The charges against him are part of a broader reckoning with sexual misconduct across various industries, and his trial will likely have lasting implications for the future of adult entertainment. As of 2023, Jeremy is awaiting trial, and if convicted, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life in prison. His case is another reminder that no one is above the law, regardless of their fame or industry. Suge Knight, the co-founder of Death Row Records, was a towering figure in the world of hip-hop during the 1990s. Under his leadership, Death Row became one of the most successful record labels of the era, launching the careers of artists like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac Shakur. However, Knight's reputation for violence and intimidation overshadowed his business accomplishments. In 2015, Knight was involved in a hit-and-run incident that left one man dead and another injured. Knight claimed that he acted in self-defense, but prosecutors argued that the incident was intentional. In 2018, Knight pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Knight's legal troubles have long been a part of his public persona, and his conviction in the hit-and-run case was seen as the culmination of years of violent behavior. His downfall serves as a cautionary tale about the dark side of fame and power in the music industry, where success can sometimes come at the cost of personal and professional ethics. Todd Bridges, best known for his role as Willis Jackson on the hit television show Different Strokes, faced numerous legal and personal struggles in the years following his rise to fame. In the 1980s and 1990s, Bridges was arrested multiple times, primarily for drug-related offenses. His addiction struggles, combined with the pressures of child stardom, led to a series of highly publicized legal troubles. Bridges eventually turned his life around, seeking treatment for his addiction and becoming an advocate for recovery. He has been open about his past, speaking publicly about the challenges of child stardom and the importance of mental health and addiction recovery. Bridges' story is one of redemption, showing that it is possible to overcome even the darkest moments with determination and support. He continues to act and remains a vocal advocate for those struggling with addiction and mental health issues. Wesley Snipes was once one of Hollywood's most bankable action stars, known for his roles in films like Blade, Demolition Man, and White Men Can't Jump. However, his career took a downturn in the mid-2000s when he became embroiled in legal battles over tax evasion. In 2008, Snipes was convicted of willfully failing to file federal income tax returns, and he was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. Snipes' case drew attention to the issue of tax evasion among high-earning individuals, particularly celebrities, and highlighted the importance of financial responsibility. Despite his conviction, Snipes remained defiant, arguing that he had been targeted by the government. He served his sentence from 2010 to 2013 and has since returned to acting, though his career has not regained the prominence it once had. Snipes' story is a reminder that fame and fortune do not exempt individuals from the law, and his case has been used as an example of the consequences of ignoring one's financial obligations. However, he has managed to maintain a degree of public goodwill, and his recent roles, including a return to the Blade franchise, have helped him slowly rebuild his reputation.